October of 2020, and what we really want to show you is our lockdown project that we did during May and June of 2020 during the height of COVID when we just couldn't leave. Well, I've always liked the A-frame structure, and I thought, well, I'm locked down, got nothing to do, let's build a home office. So, built the A-frame. Come, I'd like to show you, and in this episode, we'll show you how we built all the outside.
This is the first part of the A-frame build. We've got, how many? 5, 10, 15 concrete blocks, which we've levelled. And then we've got an extra 8 to go in the middle. So we're going to have, we've basically made it a 4.8 metre square because that's the size of 8 sheets of ply put together. And it will make the maths a lot easier. And then we've dug these footings for concrete, which is where the actual A-frame will come and sit into. So we've made excellent progress today, and as soon as the wood arrives we'll start building the base. Exciting day. All the wood has arrived, so we've basically got loads of lengths of 2x4. We've got lengths that are 4.8, so we don't have to do much chopping to create the base. And now we're just going to have a go at levelling all the blocks. We did level them almost, but it's much easier with the big lengths of 2x4 to get them level. So we're going to level them all, and then we'll start prepping the base. So I'm just measuring, we need to cut these all to 471 to make the base exactly 4.8. So I'm just marking off which ones need to be cut. I can't remember which one's done now. But yeah, let's get cutting. So this is the completed base here. We've added these extra cross beams so that when you step on it on the ply, it doesn't sag in the middle. So hopefully that's going to be strong enough now. We've kind of reinforced around the where you're going to step in for the door as well. So the next thing to do is use this like bubble wrap type insulation, and we're going to try and insulate the floor. So we're going to cut it into a triangle and staple gun it to create an air gap so that keep the floor a little bit warmer and keep the heat in. So let's have a go at that now. So I thought I would just show you Brian's mock-up of how the roof's going to go. We're going to have a long spine down the middle, and then each of these creates in here a 42-degree angle. So we have to cut these at 48 degrees. 48, is that right?
Sorry?
You have to cut 48 to make 42?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we're doing. Whether or not it's right, I don't know.
To make 90,
I know
yeah.
it's giving us the right angles.
It's giving us the right angles, that's the main thing. So we're using these brackets, and we're going to have 5 A's all across where we've dug these footings. So that's his mock-up, and what he's doing now is this is the spine here, and he's just screwing in the brackets where they're going to go so that we can prop the spine up at 3 meters and then basically screw in while we're there. We've managed to take away the ladder that was stabilising this end now. Brian's just bolting in this one. So we've only got 1, 2, 3 more to do. We haven't been brave enough to take the tractor away yet because actually there's not a lot that's supporting these beams. It's only just these extra supports we put in because the bottoms are just floating waiting for concrete. So now we're at the point of putting sterling board on. I'm not sure whether it's happy coincidence or perfectly engineered, but this will fit 2 full boards, well 4 full boards, and then 2 half boards, both sides of the roof. So we're going to do both sides of the roof. There'll be a bit of a gap at the top there, so there'll be a slither which we'll cover over and then put flashband over. And then we just need to do the same thing with this A and that A once we've worked out the door situation. So check it out, the sterling board is all on. obviously we found that once we got all the sterling board on, there were some little issues, like we're going to have to fill in this gap, which is what we're doing now. And also this side lines up perfectly so we can fill this part in with ply. However, that side, there's a massive gap. So we're going to have to do some extra sterling board down there. But it's feeling much more like a hut now. So Brian just got to cut a little bit of the ply off because for some also unknown reason it went like it was flat down that end, but by the time we got to that end the ply was like about that much above where we wanted it to be. So he's been slicing it, I've got it, slicing it off, but it's just a bit hairy up there. So we've made quite a bit of progress on the A-frame. The whole thing is sterling boarded, apart from the front here. So we've just knocked up a door frame. We found a second-hand door at the reclamation yard, so we just knocked up the door frame to fit that door. We've also done all the 2x4 for a window. So we've just got that a double glazed unit, which we're going to fit into that gap there. So we've reinforced so we could put the sterling board on, and this is how it feels inside at the moment. We've also got this skylight which is going in here, so we've had to create a frame inside for that. So the next thing to do is open up that, get rid of that bit of sterling board for that window. Then we're going to Tyvek breathable membrane over the whole of the outside, and then start on the tiling.
We're now at the point where we're adding Tyvek to the structure. Tyvek is a waterproof membrane which basically goes all around the roof and it stops any water coming in. So we've done it all around in big long sheets, and we've done it on this side at the same time. So Vicky's up there with her, it's almost like a nail gun, but it's not, it's a staple gun, but a heavy duty one, which just puts staples in and holds it all in place. It's what we're going to use to put the tiles on, and we're going to put the tiles directly on top of this. But as you can see, the weather's turning and it looks like it's either going to start raining, but all I know is it's blowing a gale here again, and we just never seem to have much luck with the wind here. The wind always seems to have it in for us, but we're doing very well because it was meant to be pouring down with rain, but I think that's still coming. So fingers crossed we managed to get all the Tyvek on before it absolutely buckets it down. I cut out the skylight earlier on, so the skylight's all there. We've just put the Tyvek on it because what you want to do is you want to keep the Tyvek there so that you can keep a nice waterproof seal, and then we'll silicone seal. Got my back window, and then at the front here this is just going to be a little window which I'm going to do with perspex and double sandwiched in so that I can then look out when I'm sitting at my desk over here. Well, that's the plan anyway. So we started putting the roof on. It's roofing shingles. It's the same as what Vicky had used on her hut, and basically you lay a strip on the mat and you just walk along with the staple, as Vicky's doing, and you just staple them into the sterling board which we put on underneath. And so as you can see, pretty quick and easy, and I think they're quite effective, these roof tiles. So you can see Vicky's going to put on the next layer of them. It's starting there. So how are you actually laying it? Where are you putting it to?
I'm just making sure that this is in between the groove. So I'm not like measuring it or anything, I'm just doing it by eye.
Yeah, that's fine.
So they're good because they've got like a sticky back, so you can get them all placed where you want them.
Yeah.
And then just run along with the staple gun. But they're not so sticky that you can't peel them back off again.
Okay. So like I said, these are from Katepal. That's who we are using, and we found them to be very easy to use, and they generally do the job pretty well.
Okay, we're going to try and get the skylight window in now. Right, okay, so try to sit up there and you put it inside. So this is the window from the inside. They've just got these little like bits that you then screw into the wood. So there's 4 of them. And then that's about it, I think. Apart from then tiling around the top.
I thought you'd do hammer it and screw it on the outside.
Yeah, we might have to screw it on the outside. But it's a bit of guesswork. The instructions are fairly limited. But does let a lot of light in here. Just trying to hammer this down so the tiles will sit underneath.
You mean sit over the top of them?
Yes, over the top, not underneath.
Okay.
So we've got quite far with the roof, but we've got to the point where every time we put a ladder up, we need to then move it to get to the next bit. So we've rigged up this contraption of a harness, and I'm going to see if I can abseil my way up. Okay, so have you got me? Hang on.
Not yet.
I haven't even got any tiles. Tiles would help. Huh? Pass me some tiles, William. It's on to Steph. Right, have you got me?
Yeah.
I'm quite heavy.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Let's start walking.
Okay, well, I'm pulling on the rope, so you need to pull the rope.
I can't. You're going to start walking.
Oh.
And I'll make the slack.
Well, no, I've got all the slack. Ah!
No, you have to hold on to your bit as it is.
Ah! Okay. Ah!
Why are you doing this in stupid shoes?
Well, because I want the other two.
Are you ready?
Gently though. Gently, okay. Bit more.
You need to get the thing over the top. Walk up a bit more.
I know I'm laughing.
Well, I have to
I
say,
hope someone's filming.
Yeah, I know about it. Thank you.
you've got to read this.
Right, hold that a minute.
Where's that other one? I'll hold it for you.
Right, don't you start climbing, William. Right, you still got me? Okay, pull it. Hammer, hit your head. Oh, there, you got me.
You need at least that's better.
You got me still?
Yes, I've got you. What about it wrong?
Look down at the road. He's got you. So that you can move both hands.
I don't think I can. It's very bad. Oh my god. I think bucket in the tractor is a better idea.
Annabelle, go and get that piece of plastic off Auntie Steph. That yellow piece of stuff.
It's not ripped, no.
Just drop it at Steph, she'll get it from you. Annabelle's come to get you a piece of plastic.
And here's another method for putting tiles on the roof. Once again, Vicky's in her favourite place, the bucket of the tractor. I must say, I don't know how people get by without buckets and tractors. We seem to use ours for all manner of things.
So the roof is all now completely finished. We put a bit of roofing felt underneath the very apex and then tiled right up to it, and then we're going to be putting a flash band right across the top just to doubly make sure it's all right. That side's all done too, thanks to the tractor bucket. And we've just put a trim around the window and then fitted the double glazed unit right up to that, so we're going to seal that all in. And now we're starting on the castle boarding, which basically you take a bit of 6x1, then you leave a 2-inch gap and screw them in, like, that's a bit more than 2 inches, but you get the drift. And then this one goes over the top to make a kind of castle-y effect. That's what we're going to do on the back of this, and then it's all going to get painted in black to match the tiles. So we're nearly there. We've just got a few end bits to finish and then the whole back will be done. We're at the front of the A-frame now, and we've kind of made our own double glazed window by cutting a bit out of the sterling board, and then we've used a bit of perspex. Then we've got another bit of batten in the centre, and then put another bit of perspex on this side, and then we'll put another bit of batten in here so that there's an air gap, and hopefully it will help insulate it a bit. We've also managed to hang a door, which I was most impressed at us. It really wasn't that bad. So, and then we've just put a bit of batten around, and then we're debating whether to paint this outside cladding in this same charcoaly colour, or leave it and paint the door black. So that's up for discussion. We're going to finish off the cladding and then try and sort out the tiles and the trim that goes along there. So this is the finished outside. We decided in the end to paint the door grey. We did put a weather bar on the bottom just to keep the rain off. The window worked really well, so that's fab. We've put a trim on the edge so that you can see the tiles just go right up to it, and you won't get any kind of leakage. The Tyvek's right tucked through as well. What we did here was we filled in those holes you saw earlier with concrete, and we also put a bracket there right into the concrete with some through bolts so that they're really nice and secure into the concrete. So the outside is all totally done. The skylight's been working really well. We left this as it was. We decided not to paint the back in the end, so that's all just going to weather in nicely, I think. And yeah, around here is just how it was. We've trimmed up the edge there, so that all looks nice and neat now as well. So yeah,
All in all, I'm very happy with it. So if you'd like to see more and see the inside and the next part of the build, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel, hit that bell so that you can get notified when the next episode comes up. We release an episode every Sunday. We'd love for you to come along our journey with us and see as we grow tractors and cream.